Have you ever sat on the toilet and felt like your bowel movement was right there, but nothing would come out? You push, you wait, you try again later, and now you're worried something may be stuck? Take a breath, my friend. This is more common than people admit, especially after 60. But there is one mistake I want you to avoid first. Do not keep forcing it. Today, I'll show you what may be happening, when constipation becomes more serious, what not to do, and when it's time to get help, so you can protect your comfort, your confidence, and your independence.
Now, let's slow this down. I'm Dr. Sam Thompson. I spent 35 years working in geriatric medicine, and now, at 72, I spend a good part of my mornings tending my little garden here in Texas. And I'll tell you something I learned over and over again with my older patients. Bathroom problems are some of the hardest things for people to talk about. Folks will tell me about their blood pressure, their knee pain, their sleep, their medications, but when it comes to constipation, many people lower their voice and say, "Doctor, this is embarrassing." So let me say this clearly. You do not need to be embarrassed. Your bowels are part of your health. And after 60, constipation can become more common for many reasons. Slower digestion, less movement, not drinking enough fluids, changes in diet, and certain medications. But sometimes, constipation feels different. You may feel pressure low down in the rectum. You may feel like the stool is right there. You may sit on the toilet for a long time, strain, sweat, and still nothing comes out. Or only a tiny bit comes out, and you still feel full. That can happen when stool becomes too dry, too large, or too firm to pass easily. In more serious cases, it may become what doctors call a fecal impaction, meaning a hard mass of stool is stuck lower in the bowel. Now, I don't want you to panic, but I do want you to respect it. Because the worst thing many people do in that moment is also the most natural thing. They push harder. And that can make things worse. Before we talk about what may help, let's first understand why pushing harder is not always the answer.
Think of stool like soil in the garden. When soil has the right amount of moisture, you can shape it, move it, and work with it. But if it sits out in the Texas sun too long, it gets dry, hard, and packed together. Something similar can happen in the colon. Your large intestine naturally pulls water out of waste as it moves through. That is normal. But when stool sits too long, more and more water gets pulled out. Over time, it can become dry, firm, and difficult to move. Now imagine trying to push a dry lump through a narrow tube. More pressure does not always solve the problem. Sometimes more pressure just causes more swelling, more pain, and more irritation around the rectum. That is why I tell older adults, if you are straining hard and nothing is happening, don't turn the bathroom into a battle. Do not sit there for 30 or 40 minutes pushing with all your strength. That can worsen hemorrhoids, cause small tears, make you dizzy, or put strain on your heart and blood pressure, especially if you already have heart disease or other medical conditions. A better first step is to pause. Stand up carefully. Wash your hands. Take a slow breath. Drink some water if your doctor has not restricted your fluids. Walk gently around the house if you are safe on your feet. And most importantly, pay attention to warning signs. Because sometimes what looks like just constipation needs medical help. Now, there are a few warning signs I want every older adult and caregiver to know.
Here is where I want you to listen closely. Most constipation is uncomfortable, but not dangerous. However, there are certain signs that tell us this may be more serious. Call your doctor urgent care or seek medical help right away if you have severe belly pain, vomiting, a swollen belly, fever, blood from the rectum, chest pain, faintness, confusion, or you cannot pass gas. Also, pay attention if you suddenly cannot urinate, or you feel a strong urge to urinate but only a few drops come out. The rectum and bladder sit close together in the pelvis, so pressure in one area can sometimes affect the other. And here is one sign that surprises many people: watery leakage. Some folks think, well, I have watery stool, so I cannot be constipated. But sometimes, with a hard blockage, liquid stool can leak around the sides. That does not always mean the problem is gone. So please be careful with anti-diarrhea medicine if you suspect stool may be stuck. Don't try to shut everything down without speaking to a doctor or pharmacist, especially if you are older or have other symptoms. And one more thing. If this is new for you, if your bowel habits have suddenly changed, or if constipation keeps coming back, that deserves a conversation with your healthcare provider. Not because we want you frightened, because we want you safe. Comfort begins with knowing when to get help. Now let's talk about what not to do, because avoiding the wrong move can protect you from a lot of pain.
When stool feels stuck, people often get desperate. I understand that. I've sat with many patients who were exhausted, embarrassed, and scared. But there are a few things I do not want you to do. First, do not keep straining hard. A gentle attempt is one thing, but repeated forceful pushing can irritate the rectum, worsen hemorrhoids, and make the area swell. Once swelling starts, passing stool may become even harder. Second, do not use sharp objects, tools, or anything unsafe to try to remove stool yourself. I know that sounds obvious, but when people are in pain, they sometimes try things they would never normally try. Please don't. The tissue in that area is delicate. Third, do not take multiple laxatives at once without guidance. So, what can you do in a calm, practical way? Let's walk through safer next steps. More is not always better. In older adults, too much of the wrong laxative can cause dehydration, electrolyte problems, cramping, or diarrhea. And if there is a true blockage, it may not solve the problem. Fourth, be cautious with enemas or suppositories if you have severe pain, bleeding, recent rectal surgery, inflammatory bowel disease, heart or kidney problems, or if you are not sure what is going on. That does not mean these tools are never used. They can be helpful for some people. But for older adults, it is wise to ask a pharmacist, nurse line, or doctor what is safe for your situation. A good rule is this: if your body is giving you strong warning signals, don't fight it alone. Get help early.
So what can you do in a calm, practical way? Let's walk through safer next steps. Let's keep this simple. If you feel constipated, but you do not have severe pain, vomiting, swelling, bleeding, fever, or other warning signs, you may start with gentle steps. Drink water, unless your doctor has told you to limit fluids. Take a short walk around the house or yard if you can do so safely. Movement helps wake up the bowel. Try sitting on the toilet with your feet slightly raised on a small stool. This position can help straighten the angle of the rectum. Don't force, just sit, relax your belly, and breathe slowly. Some people benefit from a stool softener, a gentle laxative, a suppository, or an enema. But the right choice depends on your health, your medicines, and your symptoms. That is why I like older adults to ask a pharmacist or healthcare professional before trying something new. Especially if you take blood pressure medicines, heart medicines, water pills, pain pills, iron pills,
or medications for Parkinson's, depression, or bladder control. And if you feel like stool is truly stuck low down, or you have tried reasonable steps and nothing is moving, it is time to call your doctor or go to urgent care. Please don't let embarrassment keep you home too long. I promise you, medical professionals see this more often than you think. You are not the first person with this problem, and you will not be the last. Getting help is not a loss of independence. Getting help is how you protect your independence. Once the immediate problem is handled, the real goal is making sure this does not keep happening again.
Now, this is the part I care about most, because in geriatrics, we were never just trying to fix today's problem. We were trying to help people stay comfortable, confident, and independent tomorrow. If constipation keeps coming back, you need a routine. Not a dramatic cleanse, not a miracle powder, a routine. Start with fluids. Stool needs moisture. If your doctor allows you to drink normally, sip water throughout the day instead of waiting until evening. Next, look at your food. Many people do better with fiber from foods like oatmeal, beans, vegetables, berries, prunes, and whole grains. But add fiber slowly. Too much too fast can cause gas and bloating, especially if you were not drinking enough. Then look at movement. You do not need to run a marathon. A short walk after breakfast, a few gentle chair exercises, or walking to the mailbox can help your bowel rhythm. Also, create a bathroom schedule. The bowel often responds after breakfast because of a natural reflex called the gastrocolic reflex. That simply means eating can wake up the colon. So after breakfast, give yourself 10 quiet minutes. No rushing, no phone, no straining, just a calm routine. And please review your medications with your doctor or pharmacist. Pain pills, iron, some antacids, bladder medicines, certain antidepressants, and some blood pressure medicines can contribute to constipation. Sometimes the solution is not try harder. Sometimes the solution is adjusting the routine. Before we finish, I want to leave you with a simple plan you can remember when this problem happens. Let me give you a simple reminder. Number 1, pause. If nothing is coming out, don't keep forcing. Number 2, check for warning signs. Severe pain, vomiting, swelling, fever, bleeding, confusion, chest pain, faintness, trouble urinating, or inability to pass gas. Those mean you should get medical help. Number 3, try gentle support if it is safe. Water, gentle movement, a better toilet position, and asking a pharmacist or doctor about safe options. Number 4, build a prevention routine. Because once this happens, you don't want to keep living in fear of the bathroom. My friend, bowel problems can steal your comfort. They can make you afraid to travel, afraid to leave the house, afraid to eat certain foods. But with the right help and the right routine, many older adults can get their confidence back. And that is what we are after here. Not perfection, comfort, confidence, independence. And let's close with one honest word about embarrassment. If you are dealing with this right now, please hear me. You are not dirty. You are not weak. You are not alone. You are a human being with a body that sometimes needs help. After 60, staying independent does not mean handling every problem by yourself. It means knowing when to act early, when to ask questions, and when to get support before a small problem becomes a larger one. So if your stool feels stuck, stop forcing. Watch for warning signs. Call your doctor, pharmacist, nurse line, or urgent care if you are worried. Your comfort matters. Your dignity matters. And your independence matters. If this video helped you, share it with someone who struggles with constipation but may be too embarrassed to talk about it. And subscribe to Stay Independent 60 Plus for calm,
practical health guidance made for older adults. I'm Dr. Sam Thompson. Take care of yourself, drink your water if your doctor allows it, and I'll see you in the next video.